Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel, the Bolour Carl Immigration Group. I'm Ali Bolour. This is Alexander Carl. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning. It's been some time we've been on this platform. I know our channel is on the rise, big time. Anyways, Ali read a decision from the Supreme Court today, I think came out, that impacts permanent residents, green card holders here in the U.S., specifically ones that may have a criminal record or a crime that they've been convicted of as a permanent resident.
Yeah, so basically what happens is, right, when people come from abroad, they're processed at the airport and the officer kind of checks their background, and if they have an arrest, what used to happen before today was, if they have any kind of inadmissibility issues, let's say DUI, major DUI, or anything that might be, right, then they would issue a summons, an NTA, notice to appear in immigration court, and then, the person has a green card, but the government's trying to take the green card away, so they would send it to court, and an immigration judge would ultimately make that decision. So there was some kind of oversight. So what happened today?
Yeah, and to back up a little bit, in kind of layman's terms, if you're a permanent resident and you're traveling to Europe on a vacation to see family, whatever it may be, when you come back in on your return flight, you have to see a CBP officer to get back into the U.S. You show your passport, green card holder, they go in their system. If a conviction pops up, then that's where there could be an issue. In the past, they could never deport you based on a crime that may render you deportable as a permanent resident.
Correct.
They could not deport you. They would let you come in. You would then get a notice to appear in immigration court, and you would fight your case in court in front of a judge. Now, Ali has told me, I haven't read the decision, that CBP has been given the authority to deport people.
Well, basically not even let them in. Right.
Okay,
so
not let them back into the country if there is a crime that they think makes them deportable.
Yeah, and
what about inadmissible?
Inadmissible
and or inadmissible.
Yes. So I mean, obviously they could be wrong. This is so determining whether somebody is inadmissible, it does take a lot of elbow grease by the immigration judge, by the attorney. For DHS, by the private attorney representing the individual. I mean, it takes months and months and months. So, at best, right? So what's going to happen now is, let's say, following up on Alex's hypo, you have a couple of DUIs and you go into a wedding in London, and you attend the wedding and you come back to perhaps tend to your life, and then you have to deal with the CBP officer at the border who thinks that the 2 DUIs is going to make you inadmissible. Perhaps he or she is correct, perhaps not, but the decision by the Supreme Court today gives that officer the authority to make that final decision. So they would hold you at the airport and they would send you back to where you came from, whichever airport that you departed from, and essentially get you deported and take your green card away. All in a matter of 24 hours.
Didn't they always have the authority to determine if someone's inadmissible?
Yeah, they would say you're inadmissible, therefore removable. Here's the notice to appear. Go see an immigration judge to find the outcome.
Isn't there a distinction between inadmissibility and deportability?
Well, yes, there is a distinction, but based on what I'm reading, is that CBP officer has that authority to make that.
I mean, is the new authority that they say you're deportable or inadmissible?
Inadmissible, therefore deportable. Therefore deported.
Okay, interesting.
So you have a DUI, you have 2 DUIs, you come in,
and they would give you a deport order. Because
they would remove you. Yes, you're inadmissible, and then they wouldn't even let you get out of LAX.
Understood.
They would hold you and then send you off
with a deport order.
Yes. Expedited removal.
And they can do that just because they think you're inadmissible.
Yes. So the previous threshold was clear and convincing evidence that somebody is inadmissible. Now there's no such threshold, so it's kind of reason to believe.
I always thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there was a kind of a big distinction between inadmissibility and deportability.
I mean, there is, but in this situation, the person is stuck at the airport.
Yeah.
They're not even getting through.
Right. I
So they
understand that.
find him inadmissible.
Yeah.
If they're inadmissible, then they deport him. The result is deportable.
Okay.
It's very harsh. It's very harsh. So to be clear, this is not a new thing, right? In 2020, this was happening. And the end result was very few officers actually made that determination. But you have to kind of read the room. 2020 is 6 years ago. Today we live in a very different environment. So our advice to anyone who has even the slightest of criminal charges, really, offenses, never mind convictions, is think twice before traveling abroad for any reason.
Well, sure. I think a better. I mean, yeah, think twice, but I mean, we don't want to make people scared to travel. I mean, that's the whole reason of being a permanent resident. A lot of times, not only lived in the U.S., but more importantly, perhaps, is if you've been a permanent resident for 5 years and you think you qualify for citizenship, it's probably more important than ever to apply for citizenship because you're going to be on much firmer ground than being a permanent resident, especially when you're traveling at the border.
So I'm glad you brought that up because right now the citizenship filing fees are roughly around $700. The government just issued a notice today that they intend to raise the fee to about just over $1,400. So if you are qualified, if you think you're qualified, call us. We'll determine if you're qualified to apply for citizenship. The time to do it is now as opposed to a couple of months from now when the fee will double.
Yeah, 100%. And I know we mentioned DUIs. I mean, we don't want to be fear-mongering here. This is probably more applicable to like domestic violence and probably more serious crimes, perhaps. Now, DUIs can come into play for sure, but yeah, we don't necessarily want people on pins and needles. It's just important to know that the Supreme Court decision did come along. CBP officer has been granted, it seems like, with a little bit more power to deport people rather than having the immigration courts do it if you are coming in at the border as a permanent resident. And so call your immigration attorney perhaps if you have any questions, and also don't wait to apply for citizenship either. Obviously you want to call an attorney to make sure you qualify, but if you do, now's a good time to do it.
Right, and this ruling just came off the presses maybe 2 hours ago, so we still need to see how it's going to be implemented on the ground. So we haven't, obviously we don't have any live cases right now. It just came down. So we'll see how it goes, but the time to apply for citizenship, if you qualify, is now. The time to maybe talk to an attorney, immigration attorney, before you make foreign travel is now. And don't assume just because you have a green card, you can get back in if you have any kind of a criminal history.
Sure.
Right?
I didn't read the decision. I mean, I would, yeah.
You're relying on me.
It seems like that. Yeah, I mean, listen, if DUIs probably should be fine. Anything more severe than that, it seems like you do need to be a little bit careful. Call a good immigration attorney. They can look into your certified court dispositions, read this decision a little bit more, and provide you with some more detailed advice. We can do that as well. This is just a more general advice kind of video, so don't take this verbatim. But this is something that came out.
Yep. So, thank you for watching, and yeah, send us questions, inquiries, concerns that you may have. Happy to assist, really.
Definitely. Have a good rest of your week.